Okay, the tough question where not many people are going to like my answer, but I have to be honest and show where the science goes. The health of your unborn child and consuming cannabinoids during your pregnancy. It is a very tough question because for anybody who has eyes, they've seen the number of pregnant people who have been smoking cannabis since the 60s and it just not being a huge deal. This isn't something like fetal alcohol syndrome or taking high levels of opiates while you're pregnant. Cannabis doesn't have any clear negatives that you see, and it's absolutely one of the best treatments for the severe nausea pregnancy that we know. That being said, the science is clear that there are small negative downstream effects that you see when you look at the public health data level of things. You probably haven't heard the stories. I haven't heard the stories because the effects are so small, but they do build up. The thing that is absolutely known is that the babies born to mothers using cannabis tend to be born a little bit earlier and be a little bit underweight. And that's not just because of the baby tending to be born earlier. When they try to suss out the data, it seems like the cannabis actually does create a slightly smaller growth trajectory for the baby. Is that a big deal? No. But does it happen? Absolutely. And it makes a lot of sense. Not many people know this. The highest level of CB1 receptors, cannabinoid receptors, in the human female is in the uterus and through the reproductive area. So it makes sense that there's a lot going on. The cannabinoid system is very important for everything around fertility, implantation, the growth. There's a big link going on there. So it makes sense that there's some kind of relationship. And then people are more worried about the long-term mental health consequences and physical consequences. And unfortunately, when you look at, especially the EU, he keeps really good data about this, there are slight rises in things like autism and ADHD, in congenital anomalies, which are those big, scary birth defects that can happen. It's a pretty small effect, but it is there. And so there's a lot of risky things that you can do while you're pregnant. Cannabis is not near the top of the list, but yes, there are some small negative downstreams that happen to some people. And so my general advice is, if you're trying to get pregnant, definitely both of you should lay off THC and perhaps CBD as well. And if you are pregnant and you are not having any nausea problems where cannabis is really the silver bullet to help you out, or you're not someone who just needs it for a physical condition or for a mental health condition, I think that your mental health is going to be more important. If cannabis is the only thing that keeps you going through the day, I think it's absolutely worth it to keep going with it if it's what you need. But if you're someone who dabbles in cannabis and it's not that big a deal for you to take it or leave it, don't take it. I would treat it like alcohol. Maybe once in a while wouldn't be a big deal. But smoking every day, if it's not something really close to your heart and really necessary for your health, I wouldn't do it. I don't have any big collections of this data online. No one has paid me to assemble the negatives on this stuff because, there's no money in that. But I'm happy to share this data with anybody who wants it. Just reach out to me at lex@whitewhalecreations.com, or feel free to @ me on YouTube or Instagram about these issues, and I'm happy to talk further. You can also schedule an appointment with me for a one-on-one consultation at whitewhalecreations.com. But yeah, that's my basics. I would stay away from cannabis if when pregnant, unless you really need it.